That's
Welcome to another episode of Tom pissing off Anne.
Overrated, right? I'm kidding.
You have to have a funny
You
character.
do not need the raccoon. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Nope. Probably known as one of the best. If it came out today, it would not be one of the best comics. Look at that face. Look at the face she just made. Good God.
Let's throw the book at you next time I see you.
Can we start now?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to Is It Canon? That's Ann and I'm Tom.
Now I feel weird without it.
You should. Don't put a random one on. Hands away. I'm gonna make fun.
I feel like I won this last time.
Can we start the episode, Ann? After I was 10 minutes
I'm just going to put on random hats throughout the episode.
There you go. Perfect.
I know my dog is barking. Of course.
Yeah, of course.
It's fine. Wouldn't be Is It Canon episode.
Can we start now?
Mm-hmm.
We are here again without an issue to discuss, but that's okay because the show must go on.
Yep.
And that's okay because you're going to get to know us a little bit better. And we actually, last week we asked a question to the community and we got some feedback. And you know what? We also got some great feedback of last week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
Several people. So shout out to all of you that are still listening, even though we do not have an issue to discuss. We don't have a guest to talk to, and yet you're still listening. And we got some good feedback. I like it.
Yep, it was a good episode last week. Sometimes I think it's easier to not have a guest because you can just bullshit. There's not like questions you have to make up or anything like that.
Yeah, you get it's all like if it's the first time you're talking to someone, you get through the surface level stuff. Yeah, we can penetrate and get a little bit deep, but like when it's just the two of us, the surface level stuff is gone.
Yep.
So we can get our own hot takes. I can find out your terrible opinions on stuff.
Should we start with the hot takes?
And vice versa. Well, yeah. So we're gonna do some hot takes, not just from us. I don't know if you brought any of yours. Nope. Yeah, I only have like one or two off the top of my head. But we have it from the community, and we're gonna see if we agree or are we gonna call them batshit crazy.
I did have something. I have a question.
Okay.
And you can go as deep on it as you want. It doesn't have to be like a crazy thing. Mm-hmm. How do you feel the VeeFriends Comics have changed your life? And not like in a deeper sense, I read all the stories, but like them having comics now. How has it changed you besides us having a podcast? Has it changed anything in your life?
I don't know how to answer because like you took the things that I were going to say away. So like...
Oh, then don't answer them.
Well, you basically said like, not like, oh, they changed me because of reading.
You can do that too. It's just like, you don't have to
bring up the podcast. What the fuck? What am I supposed to answer?
For me, it's like the relationships with some of the community members that I didn't have before. Like there's a couple of community members.
It's because of the podcast. So that's why I was like, okay, if I'm taking away the podcast, I'm taking away all the things from the podcast. But if that's...
No, like, I mean, like besides us starting a podcast because of the comics, what else has changed for you with the comics?
Well, it brought me back to comics, to being interested in reading more and, really remembering what I loved about comics for so long and then kind of taking a step away from that for a decent amount of years. And now realizing why I love comics so much, because it's not just, guys in tights saving the damsel in distress. There's things, and it made me reread some old ones like the Essex County that I sent you. And I remember loving that and being like, you know what, let me dig that out. And, it's been, yes, I've gotten deeper friendships with people, obviously with you, but with other people who I was already friends with because of To the Moon and the cards and the meetups and all that. But now we're talking comics and all that. It's just, it added a layer of collectability on my end. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It reignited. I don't know if I would say change. It kind of brought me back to like how comics changed my life back in the day. It's bringing that back up. What's your answer to that?
I think for me, it's like some of the community members that I knew before, but we didn't have like maybe that much contact with each other.
Sure.
And now there's a common thing we talk about or we collect, and now that brought up different conversations that I didn't have with them before.
Got it.
Like it's the same with like with the cards, with anything that comes into your life. I feel like it connects you to a certain amount of people, because you can connect through that thing. And I think VeeFriends Comics was that for me with a couple of people in the community that I didn't know as well.
It all comes back to people, connections, networking, stuff like that. So before we get into more questions and hot takes, like what's new? Anything new since last week? How you feeling today?
Good. It's been
Let's do
busy.
our mental health check-in.
Nope.
Did I get you?
Nope. Not going there.
We've covered mental health a couple times on here, especially with the Agnes episode. Yeah. So I only asked because last week was a real tough week. And you might have despite I guess I'm most shocked about the positive feedback of last week's episode because I had to force myself. Like I always look forward to doing it. And I had a good time once we started, but I had to force myself to record that. And I was in and that was on Tuesday. When did we record that?
I think we did
Monday night. Yeah. That was like, didn't it?
I don't remember.
Whatever it was, it was like I had to force myself and I had such a hard week. And today I woke up feeling great. And then I went for a 3.5 mile hike, which is always sets my mind right. I know that. And yet I still will not do it because of I have to go pack from a break. I have to do this. I have to do that. And I won't do it even though, and just decline in mental, even though I know if I just go take an 1.5 to 2 hours, which I know it's not a small bracket that you and I have talked about. It's not easy to find sometimes, but I was like, today's the day. And I went and did it. And it what a difference in mood. It put me
we just don't allow ourselves to actually do the things that make us feel better. Like you said, we find excuses of we put everything else we're supposed to do first.
Correct.
And put what's actually good for us last. Don't get me wrong. Yes, we have lives and families and jobs and they have to be done.
Mm-hmm.
But that can also be done an hour later.
Sure.
We're pushing it away. And
I have a new mug.
Let's go. Mine is old. But mine is chipped and I'm so sad about it.
I'm sorry for your loss of the chip. I didn't want to not acknowledge that.
I appreciate it.
Okay. I want you to feel heard. I went to a GameStop to go try to find Chrome. It's the only one I went to. And they had 2 blasters and 2 megas. So I bought that. And then as I'm walking out, there was a clearance section. And I was like, I just peek around. And the guy goes, by the way, anything that ends in 97 is an additional 70% off. So I'm looking, and this was $20 on clearance to $6.97, marked down to $2.
Sold.
Yeah. And I love it. It's huge. And I always don't have a water cup here at the office that Jay makes fun of me for reusing a plastic cup that is Christmas themed. And so now I have this. The reason I don't have a reusable is we don't have a sink here to wash it in other than in the bathroom. So figured disposable is better.
I like open cups better for drinking.
Sure.
So I always go with.
So tell me,
coffee.
How you feeling today?
No.
Okay.
I'm deep in it, so then I can't talk about it.
We're going to lock that away.
Yep.
Swallow it down.
When it's past it, it's easier. For you last week, you weren't feeling well. That's not a moment usually you want to talk about certain things. So.
Sure. Now, don't get me wrong. I love complaining. It's one of my favorite things to do. But I know when I complain too much, I'm self-aware. So if you had asked me, how you doing? I would have listed everything that I did that day, everything that I had to do that week. And I would have said it in a funny way as my way of expressing it, because that's what I do. But, I would have said it, but really it would have just been complaining. But no one wants to come here and listen to me complain. But
I feel bad I didn't ask you.
What's that?
I did ask you before the episode started.
You did, but that's not where I'm going to offload all that stuff.
You wanted to be on camera.
That's real. And then on here, I would have complained. I love complaining. It's so much fun. But I understand, who likes to be
wrong. I love complaining too, but it's not a complaining thing. So that's why I'm not going in it.
Okay.
So maybe next week.
Okay, we'll talk about that next week. I am excited. Tomorrow, I am going to see Toy Story 5. I almost asked if we can record this tomorrow so that I can talk about Toy Story 5, but today just worked better. So I'm very excited about that as well. Is there anything exciting coming up for you in the summer? Not even just this week. Any trips, any camps, any camping?
Usually we do. This year I've planned nothing. Just because I know it's going to be busy summer season. There's like a lot of change happening in the last couple of weeks that I'm just like, I don't want to lock things down and then not be able to do them. Like camps are expensive. So we kind of just go with the flow. Yeah. There's no camping planned. We usually go to this one spot and you didn't like, just me and Emmy usually going and she didn't want to go this year. So we might do spontaneous day trips, but
cool.
The only thing is national.
Which we campaigned for you last night to come on Thursday because there's going to be karaoke. Everyone was.
I don't do karaoke unless I have a lot of stream juice.
There will be,
but I can't.
Okay. There was some conversation of like, can Anne sing? She can dance. Can she sing? And then people were like, she sings on her community night streams. I don't know.
Never sing on community night streams. That's a lie. I do sing something on my streams.
Oh, like maybe that's what they meant. Okay.
But it's more like I'm singing like because I don't realize I'm starting to sing.
Got it.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
Like singing along with the song?
I was in a choir for a year and hated every minute of it. My mom made me finish that year. Like a school choir.
Got it.
I can hold a note if I have to. I wouldn't call myself a singer because certain songs is like, yeah, and don't do that.
Got it.
Not good.
No. Okay, fair enough.
Don't even know.
I'm plan on fully embarrassing myself and all of those around me.
It.
There'll be video. There always is. Good. Not by me. Not by my request. I'm going to ask for no videos. It's
going to be live streamed.
And that was where it all went to. So, yeah. All right.
How about you? Any trips? Anything coming up?
I will be going to New York for probably a week or so. A week, 6 days maybe. I was supposed to go for the 4th, and we pushed it back. So I want my kids and my brother's kids. The cousins get along really well, so they don't get to see them that often because they're in New York and we're here. But so we try to plan instead of like me being asked to come up to New York like 5 times throughout the summer and for like a weekend, and it's just so much traveling for 24 to 48 hours. We're like, we'll come up for a whole week, and that's it. And so that's coming up. The week after the 4th, we have the National, and then I might go to the Shore again at some point.
Yeah, no plans yet. It's all spontaneous this summer.
Yeah, but like I like having no plans, like a lot. I love having no plans. Like today,
sometimes it's not good.
100%. But last week every second was allocated. And that's what really bugs me. I like to have some freedom. That's how I can get happy. And I don't mean like no kids or whatever. I mean like a schedule. That's when I'm happiest. Even though I have like stream scheduled and this scheduled and sometimes job scheduled. Don't mind, every second of every day last week was allocated, and it drove me nuts. I was miserable. And so today I knew we had this. I had and then I spontaneously went on a hike. And then I spontaneously just rearranged and like set up a new shelf up here, brought all the inventory and organized it. But I knew I had to pack some stuff up. That's all packed. So like just being able to catch up on stuff, then living in this place is trashed. It really is, because we never have time to like get here and do it. So anyway.
Jay comes one time to the office and bam, it's trashed.
Kind of. He just keeps order like downstairs. We like with all the Chrome boxes that have come in, there's the packing paper. It looks like it just exploded downstairs. It's a disaster. So I have to walk by it every morning and then come upstairs, and then this is the calm space. If I do stuff downstairs, I get a text from Jay like, "Oh, nice outfit today," because the cameras.
Oh, yeah, that would bug me.
Yeah. So I no cameras upstairs.
I get it for security, but I don't like being watched.
Right. Or the feeling of, like, I'm joking
Yeah.
around about Jay watching, but like,
It's still,
yeah, there's just the feeling of being watched.
yeah, it's not my thing.
All right, let's get into some segments.
What should we start with? We have some overrated, underrated. We have the community ones.
Let's do hot takes, because I want to get fired up early. I want people to have some terrible takes so I can call them stupid.
I didn't go through it, so I just told everybody,
Perfect.
give us hot takes for our next episode.
Okay.
And so there's some long ones that I'm just gonna have to read.
Okay. Did you say like comic related or anything?
I just said hot takes for our episode, so I assume they're comic related.
Okay, we'll find out together. Let's do this.
Let's see, guys. First of all, thank you for sending them in. We appreciate you guys of just being able to ask a question or put something in there and you're like just on it.
Yes.
That. Farm Clem, Versatile Viking, comic number 6, has the ability to be one of the strongest story arcs in VeeFriends Comics.
So 3, 2, 1.
Semi-agree.
Agree. So I do a little bit of this because I think it started off so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Where we left off is that Viking is on an island. There are other VeeFriends there, right? They're like, there's a control room at the end. If I remember correctly, like it seems like he was brought there for some reason. We don't know what yet.
Yep.
And did he not say anything? Was he silent the whole issue?
He didn't really say anything towards the end. He was just like the whole chasing between the two of them. So I'm like semi-agree to like the first 2-3 pages, 100% agree.
Right.
The rest of the issue was like, I don't even remember what happened the rest of the issue.
Yeah. It's almost like the movie Up, where like the beginning is so strong that even though the rest is like fine, I kind of forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, does it have the potential to be? Sure. Because I mean, you could say that about any of them because they're all the beginning of the arcs, but it could be the strongest because if it continues in the same vein of the writing and the meaningfulness of, meeting people and them coming into your, going through the tough times, it could potentially, that was a good building block for that character arc.
But if it's the strongest story arc, I'm not sure. Again, the beginning was really, really strong, and we bring it up all the time. Right. But like just because it like kind of tapered off a little bit, that makes me a little bit hesitant to say it would be.
Right.
So we semi-agree.
Okay.
Great question, Clem. Alex, the Erupt series of comics, the foils that are for Burn Island are going to be an epic, multi-story, multi-character arc that brings together all the timelines in an epic battle. The Erupt cards are comic characters for a reason. Some kind of big story like Endgame or Flashpoint, whatever that means.
3, 2, 1. No, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I don't think they're connected.
No, I think it's a fun theory. So Flashpoint, you could also say like Secret Wars. Endgame is he's talking about Avengers Endgame, which is the big final movie of the Marvel movies, of the Infinity Saga, where basically all these movies, like 30 plus movies and some TV shows, all come together into one. So they're making Doomsday and then Secret Wars, where it's basically like different universes because there's the multiverse. They all connect. And the same thing, the Flashpoint is the DC version of that. And or they had Crisis on Infinite Earths. These are big, like crossover. It's too early for that. Like, I get that we've had 17 or 18 issues now, and they were all kind of singular. And this I don't think that's the case. Don't get me wrong. That would be cool if there was like some sort of event big enough that they would need to pull some of the heroes from all of these different issues to come together and fight a common cause. That's like an awesome theory. I think it'd be really tough for them to pull that off, but and I think it's a fun theory, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I don't think those issues are going to be connected, and I don't think the erupt cards have to do with the actual. I think it's just a coincidence.
Right. I get that most of them are comic characters, so like I get that, but like the erupt is just like erupt existed before Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a Book Games, Burn Island,
Yep.
Eruption, like that all existed ahead of time. So like I think that they just named it Erupt, just like they needed a name like Kaboom to name it that, and then it's an Erupt comic because you had to burn Book Games for it. I don't know. Like I just think that that's grasping straws. I think it's a very fun theory though, and that would be awesome if they can pull something off like that. But I also think it's too early.
Yep, I think we're not there yet. Next question is from Dom. What's the progress update on Tom's Chick Tract?
Zero. It's zero because I didn't commit to this. You said it to someone I respect so much, and now I have to. You've backed me into a corner, bringing it up to.
Because I know you've been wanting to do it. You just need to push for it.
I like said it once, and yeah, I had an idea for it, but I didn't say I was gonna do it. We were all just like thinking of ideas, and I was like, "What if we did one?" And you're like, "Who will draw it?" I'm like, "I'll fucking draw." It wasn't like it was a half-baked idea.
No, it's a full-baked idea.
No, it's not full.
You know you would like it.
It's not full baked. We're still.
If you had the time, would you make it?
I don't know. It's not. It's definitely a time thing, but it's also like I've never done it, so I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know what the first step is.
You just start.
No, then you just start.
Fine.
Fuck you, Dom.
Next question.
You're supposed to be hot takes.
K-Save. I don't have a hot take. Again, I didn't read these. K-Save. Here's 3. What previously printed comic, other than Ninja, will be developed with future stories, and which one will be one and one done? I know we already Fairy. They already have alluded to that's gonna be. I think all the ones that were big hits, they're gonna expand. I think that's the whole plan for them. Finding out which comic really hit with people, which they're most talked about, and then they're gonna develop that. Everything that didn't hit, they're not gonna go into.
Yeah. I think issue 3 is a one shot. I think it's a one and done. I don't think they're going to continue on a story. I don't think there's like, with all the VeeFriends characters we have, I don't think there's a need to continue that. Like comics do that all the time. It's called a one shot. Like even though there's a big long arc, they'll do a one shot that has a standalone story that has nothing to do with the overarching thing. I think it's a one and done. The rest are pretty much set up to be continuations. Like Gary B, I don't know if that needs, like that wasn't a cliffhanger, I don't believe. So like, I don't think Gary B's story is over, but I don't think that led where Harpic, Ninja, like some of these ended on cliffhangers. Like those need to continue. So which ones do I want the most? I don't know. Robot Kind Warrior needs one. That's like the true origin. Like that's a beginning of a story that needs to be completed. Where I don't feel like I need more Gary B now. I need to know what happens next. You don't get that after that.
Like the same with Dragon. I love Dragon, but I don't feel like it was a cliffhanger. We kind of got the whole story of it.
Sure.
So I
don't think it's the last we'll see of those two, but I don't have this burning desire to know what's next.
There wasn't a cliffhanger in it. Other ones. I'm not sure if we're gonna see a continuation of Doggy Daycare. Maybe, maybe not. Like I don't think there was enough buzz around it for them to like dive into it right now.
Sure. I think that's incorrect though. Not that you're incorrect. I think it'd be a mistake not to continue that. They set it up, which the lack of buzz is whatever. It has a good enough foundation. Like they put in Easter eggs of, their person having some shenanigans. Like there was some shitty stuff going on with the Tick, and then the introduction of the Tick at the very end. Like that story should continue. that is one that I would rather another doggy daycare than another Gary B right now. I want to know what happens next. Let's say it that way. I want to know what happens next in doggy daycare more than I want to know what happens next for Gary B.
That makes sense. But I feel like Gary B is one that they're gonna continue just because they're talking about it so much, that it's such an important one.
Right. Exactly.
It's gonna be interesting when they spin off certain ones, because they still have so many characters to actually go through. Like, what makes sense to spin off when, versus just like getting out more stories because people want to know them. Especially with so many people coming into the IP, I think now it's really important to have those stories for people to understand what it's actually about. Because that's been one of the most asked questions. Like, what are these characters about?
Sure.
Like, why do they exist? Like, there's no story around them. And I think now it's really pushing that, hopefully more with the comics. So he keeps talking about like movies and stuff, live action movies that he wants to make, and I don't know how far down the road that is, but he has been bringing it up way more than
interesting
I thought. So we'll see how that goes. Another question from Casey. When is sharing Squirrel movie? Yeah, my 4-year-old grandson Hunter wants to know.
Never.
I think so he gave one of the cards to his grandson, and his grandson was like, "Okay, what movie is it from?" Because that's what
okay.
Yeah, because most things we see or like kids see, like there's a movie or a show, and then you have like merch or something from it. And so on this time you have merch from it, but there's not really a story. It's very different to what kids are used to. So it's a valid question I feel like from a 4-year-old. Like, so where's the story? So, will the Lava variant comics hurt sales of 23, 24, and 25?
No, because it's going to be released regularly as well, right? It's just like a variant. So no, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. No, I just think the Lava cover or whatever it's coming out is going to be more valuable. That's all.
I think it's also because it's separate. You can't get them in the packs.
Right. So I don't think it's going to hurt sales, because some people, just because you have to use book games, are like, I'm out, right? I'll just wait for the regular copy. Where collectors like, us will at least try to get them because we care about having sets and all that stuff. So yeah, I would want a set of the, what is it?
There's another one that ends tomorrow.
Yeah. Cool. We got to drop that in the group chat.
Oh, well.
Because Jay was not happy that he only knew 2 minutes beforehand. And that's not a you problem. That's a him. I don't care.
I'll let him know. Clem, if you had to assemble a team like the Avengers for a VeeFriends comic series, which character would you pick? You can't use existing comic characters.
You can?
You can't.
You can't.
So it has to be new ones.
So we have to assemble an Avengers-like team to fight what? What do we just... Okay. Let's just say a big villain that is threatening this world, and we have to come up. Okay. We can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gorilla.
Gratitude. I mean, I'm going to have the raccoon in. You have to have a funny character.
You do not need the raccoon. It doesn't matter. No part of me, just because it's your character, no part of me was like, oh, we're going to put Catfish on the team. No, man. We need to win. We don't need someone to just get distracted by every trash can it runs by.
It will find things. It's like a MacGyver.
No, it's not like a MacGyver.
So what is the gorilla going to do?
What's that?
It's
strong. It can climb. It can do things.
The raccoon can bite things.
What,
sneakily?
Ankles?
Yeah. Have you ever been bitten in your ankle?
Yeah, it sucks for a little bit. That's not going to take down a Thanos level threat.
Listen.
All right. Who are the bigger, more colossal type characters?
Gentle Giant.
Gentle Giant's not a bad one. It is gentle. All right, fuck that pussy.
We can't do
Um,
dragon, which would have been epic.
yeah, I can't do dragon.
We can't do
We
all
can't
the
do Minakawa, which would have been great.
there's a lot of bugs, and like none of the bugs make sense. No,
No.
there's Ant-Man. That's helpful, right? So
Yeah,
we do
but
need something.
so Ant-Man, yes, but he controls the ants. He can control ants, turn to the size of the ant, and when he gets to the size of an ant, he still has the strength of a full-grown human. And then he has the reverse using the Pym particles. He can reverse it and go to Giant Man, where he becomes a giant, and he's even stronger. So that's why that hero is a hero, because he has more than just like, hey, I'm an ant. Heart Trooper, like we don't know anything about it, but
Yeah.
what if that staff has some powers?
I feel like the devil is a good one. He's mean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're the devil, you definitely have some sort of evil powers of some sort.
Who else is in VeeFriends? There's so many VeeFriends, and now I can't think of anything.
We need to go like cosmic with this. We need some sort of magic. Like the wizard would have been good.
They took all of our good characters
I know.
in the comics. Turkey isn't doing anything.
Yeah, what's the turkey gonna do? A vampire? Does a vampire do anything? Not really.
Not.
I need
Better
more
than
time.
nothing.
I need more time to dwell on this.
I know.
It's a good question. So, for Avengers, you need about what, 5 to 7 characters. Call it 6. And then, yeah, about 6 characters.
There's so many, I can't think of any of them.
I know. I'm kind of blanking.
It used all of the good ones. The Cobras, like.
Yeah, but like, I wouldn't have chose the Cobra. Who has weapons?
None of them really. This is VeeFriends.
I know.
This is crazy.
I feel like there's going to be a complete obvious one that we're forgetting, and we're just going to get roasted for it. All right.
Phoenix.
Phoenix is a good one.
Can do Phoenix.
Good job, Anne.
I'm trying to think. I see a shark.
No.
No, the sharks. No.
No, like the Phoenix. So there's the Dark Phoenix, or the Phoenix is a character on the X-Men. Jean Grey gets the Phoenix Force or whatever it's called, and is one of the strongest characters in comic books. So that's a really good one.
They took all our good characters. I wouldn't take the bull.
No. I feel like none of the animals are good. We got to go
People?
different. Not even people, like the Phoenix, like mythical creatures.
Eagle is not.
No.
It's not. No, we don't have a lot of like they used all the epic characters already.
All right. Well, let's move on. Good question. Maybe we'll come up with something. I don't want to spend this whole episode.
Nope.
I also I need a hot take. You want mine?
Yes.
Okay. So when issue 5 came out, it was controversial and probably known as one of the best. If it came out today, it would not be one of the best comics. After 17 issues of like really diverse whatever, it would not make the same splash that it would. I think it's kind of overrated, and I don't mean that to piss you off. I know I give you a lot of shit about it, but what makes it a hot take is that I'm in the minority.
And I don't think you are.
And overrated does not mean bad. I like it. I'm interested to see. I felt like there was parts in there where I'm like, this is too much. Not the like pissing on the grave is too much. Like the way, like the things they said, the way they said, like the way they bullied. I was just like, this isn't this, like none of this, it feels real. Like this, you know what I mean? So it's just like, no one talks like this. I feel like it was very made to be over the top to create this monster character. And I think that now 17 issues later, it might not hit as much as it did, only because it was like the first, after the fairy, I feel like it was the first one that was like, whoa, you got to see this.
I could see that. I feel like for me, over the top was more like pissing on the grave and stuff like that. I don't think the situation was over the top. I do believe stuff like that happens. We're just not exposed to it. Like, I'm very glad that I'm not in that. But I feel like that is part of some families where they talk to each other like that. Like, we
Sure.
had a we had a neighbor when we first moved here. Like, there were so many times where we wanted to, like, do we call? Like,
Yeah.
where it's just
Yeah, I don't want to make it seem like I don't think evil people exist and like it's, but it just like the whole thing where there was money that the parents took and like that for sure. It just felt like some of it was so over the top. I have to reread it. I haven't reread it since our episode, but I remember reading it being like, whoa. And then on the second reread, I was like, okay. And that was my last impression was like, okay.
and I think the over the top is, I think, more because you only have so much time in a comic to paint that picture of how he could be that it
Sure.
goes to that extreme, and I think they just try to pack it to, like, make you understand why he turned to that way. And I think for me, it's less about the story that I like so much. There's moments in it that I really connected with. So it's not the overall thing. It's like there's certain panels I'm like, "Ooh, that I needed that."
You don't have to defend yourself. I'm just
I'm
giving you my
defending my
take.
comic.
You're trying to like justify you're or convince it's not going to happen. Like that's
Welcome to another episode of Tom pissing off Anne.
hot take. Issue 5 is overrated. That's the hot take. Go. Like that's what I was hoping for. Maybe next week.
Ooh, Jay, hot take. 60% of comic buyers don't read the comics.
Is that true? Or is he just,
That's his hot take. Honestly, I think it's more.
I think it's more.
Which sucks.
Yeah. That's gonna piss Ann off more than me. Look at that face. Look at the face she just made. Good God. That is probably not a hot take. That's probably truthful and low. Because I do feel like a lot of the people that buy who are in the Gary sphere are flippers. They're entrepreneurs, they're flippers, they want to be like him doing these things, and they think everything that comes out VeeFriends is flippable. It's not the case. They have proven time and time again that not everything they put out is a good buy for flipping. And the what pisses me off is that the people that buy stuff hoping to flip it, and then when it doesn't hold value and flip, they bitch to VeeFriends about it. And that's where it's like, that's not what this whole company is built on is, hey, here's something you can go make money on. That annoys me when someone says something as if they're owed something about because they bought something that it was guaranteed to go up. It's just like I have zero interest and didn't participate in buying any speakers. Don't care. I could like I think we got a couple only because Jay was like, I'm going to get some. I said, okay, I have zero interest. And not because I think it's for me, I don't use a speaker. I don't even listen to music really. So I have no interest in it. It doesn't seem like a play for a flip on stream. I don't know where that fits in. So that didn't interest me. I don't buy merch. I don't buy, that's not a flip opportunity. There are things that excite me. Comics sometimes are not flippable. There are issues that are worth more than others. And if you buy one to rip and get a base, you lost money. But I love comics, so that's why I'm into it.
I agree. Yeah, I think 60 is very low.
Hopefully
I think part of it is like you said, it's the flipping. Part of it is like there's comic streams and people are just seeing it as like an investment versus buying it to actually read it. They're seeing it as just like building up your collection with cards, which it's not wrong. But I think again you're missing the point a little bit. I wish more people would read the stories.
Sure. And I think that, again, outside of VeeFriends, comics can gain a lot of value, but it's because of the story inside.
Mm-hmm.
So, just for example, first off, this is kind of cool. See this shirt? Okay, 1 second. Someone was selling this. And so this is this isn't a big, like super valuable. I paid about 50 something dollars for this. It's a 9.8, so that's cool. There's like 2 million copies of this printed. There's a ton of 9.8s.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a very iconic Todd McFarlane cover. Todd McFarlane is one of like the biggest, most well-known artists. And he created Spawn, and he's a lot of people's favorite Spider-Man artist. So it's the same pose as my shirt, because they've recreated this cover in, like, you can see Daredevil in that pose, you can see Deadpool in that pose. But anyway, I just thought that was fun. I saw it on my shelf. So the story is or the character introduced in the story is what makes a comic valuable, not just because Gary's involved.
Mm-hmm. And I think it changes over time. I think we're not quite there yet. It's gonna take a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
Manuel has a question. Do you expect any comic surprises at the National?
No.
Same.
It's a card show.
Yeah.
If they have any big surprise, it'll be at Comic-Con.
Yeah. I would say the same. Barlocker, after receiving a comic, how long is too long to wait before you read it?
There is no too long. You should read it. If you read it at any point, you did the right thing. But just like any movie, TV show, whatever, as soon as something comes out, if you want to be in the know and in the conversation, because we're going to be talking about issues as they come out. If you just read issue 5 and want to tell us how underwhelmed you were by it, well, you're late. Like, you're late to the show. You're almost a year later. Yeah, I mean, all the hype about it. If you wanted to be in the hype, you had to read it at the time. So if you waited until now, it might be underwhelming because it got overhyped. Like you actually mentioned on one episode, was that last week? Where you're like, someone builds something up so high that you go in and you're like,
the Viking.
Oh, it was a little disappointing.
Kind Warrior was hyped up. But if you ever want to talk about comic number 5, I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Just don't bring your hot take.
Savvy. VeeFriends is already giving us a sneak peek into comics with the manga poses. True or false?
I don't think so. Because there's the comic characters. Like, have you seen the manga monster?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like the monster in the comic, does it?
No, I mean, it's leaned on it, but
I just think that it doesn't even look like its existing comic counterpart, which doesn't mean anything, right? Because we know the characters from series 2, and then in comics, it could if a new artist takes over, the character is going to look different again. So whoever did the manga drawings, if they are the comic book artist, then it might be, but I don't think so.
I assumed that Chris did manga again. But I was like, the comics are going to be made by so many different people, the interior, that one person doing all the mangas doesn't really line up with that.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I think that's false. Forget anything. Manuel, what changes do you want to see to the comics once they come back? VeeFriends has highlighted which area they're looking at, but where do the two of you, see improvement opportunities?
What has the team said that they're highlighting?
So, as far as I know, they are switching facilities because there's been issues with printers.
Production issues. Sure.
And I assume also, like, they're gonna up. I think it was always kind of in the talks that starting with 20, they're gonna up the print issue, the print run. So I think that part of it, the printer itself, and the print issue, they're gonna up. I think it was always kind of in the talks that starting with 20, they're gonna up the print issue, the print run. So I think that part of it, the printer itself, and the print issue, they're gonna up. I don't know if also the facility where they keep them and send them out from, because there has been issues.
Mhm.
So I think it's more a production issue than anything else. And I feel like it was kind of a last minute decision too, because
Yeah.
I know DJ found out about it. He had talked about it somewhere while he was on vacation. He's fully in agreement that it needed to be, but he didn't know about it, that that was happening until he was like, it was made while he was on vacation. He found about it there.
Got it.
So, I think we all want to see at some point. It would be great if they would cost less, especially as the print run goes up. I don't think we're going to see that, to be honest. I would be very, very surprised. People are going to be upset about it. We know that. I think so far they're doing well with I don't have an issue with how they're doing things. Like, yeah, there's been some printer issues, but that's not really something VeeFriends can influence. I still like the blind bag. Ultimately, yes, I would love to see just regular comics outside of blind bags. Um, that can be bought in stores to just like get the stories more out there and people actually getting into the stories and not just the collecting.
Mhm.
So almost like if you keep the 10,000 run in the blind bags and the same structure, and everything that's printed after that is outside of blind bags and just sent to comic stores for cheaper. And you can just buy a regular ass comic. There's no I would love to. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Or, keep it limited to 10,000, but just take 1,000 or 2,000 or however many, and just have them exposed. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the business part side of it and the numbers and what it looks like on their end, but I get that it needs to make sense. If it go higher production, we're not going to see it go down. We might see it go up, which I would also think is a mistake. So I don't know.
Mhm.
They wouldn't raise the print run if they didn't have the demand to, or at least seeing that trend of it. You know what I mean? So if it's at 10,000, and yes, we're seeing some sell out now, but a large part of that is the breakers
I was just about to say, like,
buying in bulk, us included.
I, I think there's a little bit of a the demand is there because of the breaks, not because of people buying to reading them. Let's be
Correct.
honest. And I think it's good, but it's also not. Is that honest demand? If we have the same people over and over just buying hundreds of copies of them, and I'm not meaning the breakers, like we watch the breaks, like we see the whales who are buying the same comics over and over because they want to hit a certain thing. Is that really true demand to print more all of a sudden?
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like if they were, they'd have to be selling. To me, they should be selling out at release, or more, at least more than half at release to justify increasing the print
Mhm,
run. Seeing some whales buying it, if they stop, then there's such an oversupply.
mhm,
And I don't think they stop. And I don't think this is, I'm not saying any of this as an issue, right? Because the more that get opened, the more base that is pulled that are going to be either resold or whatever for 5 to
mhm,
10. We've seen 5, 6, $7.
mhm,
That's what we want. We
mhm,
want to see comics in stores for $5 because a kid is not going in and buying VeeFriends issue 14 for $30, $35 when there's Green Lantern for $4.99 next to it.
mhm.
And I, that's all. I mean, the breaking part of it is so much fun. I love doing it. Where
Mhm,
if you view it as a problem, you view me as part of the problem. I get that. But I also don't think it's a problem. But if it leads to an increased price or because of an increased print run, then yeah, it is a problem. And I don't think that's a smart move, but that's rich coming from me to call someone like Gary and team not smart when they are much smarter than me business
I
wise.
don't think
So
it's about smart. It's like I don't think they can be everywhere. And like you and me are very tapped into when it comes to the comics, and like we see who's buying what, and like who's in the streams, and like I'm not saying they're not, but like are they seeing that it's the same people
mhm,
buying, like having just hundreds of copies at home versus are we bringing in new people?
sure.
I think that's the biggest part of it, that where I'm nervous about the print run going up.
We'll see.
But
I'm bummed that we can't, like, the shellfish one was like ready to go, and I
Mhm.
was super excited about it, and now it's held off.
I agree. I think that was all the questions.
Thank you so much for all those questions, guys.
We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
It's fun. I don't have any hot takes, I think.
Bad Intentions will be the bad guy in this universe. It's the Joker of the VeeFriends universe. And I don't mean that in like, Fairy is Batman. And I just mean like when you think DC villains, you could go, the big ones like Darkseid, but Joker's your most famous one. I think it's going to be like the most famous bad guy. Is that a hot take? I don't know. Like what other, the Tick is awesome, but the Tick is more like a mob boss type one, or at least
Cynical Cat. Cynical Cat isn't as mean.
Yeah.
Or as smart, I feel like, as Bad Intention is. But I feel like Bad Intention got turned bad, or it was brought out of him. I have a hard time with that one. I don't know if it's, again, like, because Gary has been such a big person on, like, people can redeem themselves over time, like, always giving them chances. So I'm like, maybe at some point, because Fairy or whoever's around him at some point not giving up on him and showing him, like, you can be different, at some point him changing back. I don't think it's out of the question that could happen eventually. But I think he would make a good villain. I mean, I think we need some villains.
Is there any characters that you think are not classified as a villain right now that could shock everyone by being revealed? Like Turn Tick, it's a Tick, right? How do you make a Tick lovable? But there was like a superhero called the Tick. There was a cartoon, and so we didn't know. Ticks suck in real world, so it's hard to make one lovable.
Mm-hmm.
So they made it a villain. Cool. I don't see that as like a big shocker, but I love the application of it on dogs, because dogs get ticks all the time and all that, and can be a real problem for dogs. So it was like a perfect application or introduction for the Tick as a bad guy. But is there any character that you can think that would turn villain and that you wouldn't expect? Like we've said, Empathy Elephant, could be could heel turn because it's everyone, he knows everything about everyone or something like that.
I feel like a lot of the empathy elephant, kind warrior, even compassionate catfish, I feel like all of them, where if you have too much of what we all think is a really good trait, if you don't also have a line or set boundaries, I think you're gonna take that stuff very personal and then become very bitter around it.
Sure.
Like, so I could see them being too, like, at some point, them tapping into being too empathetic, and then that's where the whole, like, nice guys finish last. It's not really the nice, like, it's because you have expectations when you're nice. You're not just being nice because you're nice, or kind because you're kind. You have expectation that you get something in return. So I can see quite a few of them turning a different way.
I love the theory of empathy. It's not going to happen because it's too big a character that I feel like they wouldn't take that big swing of it. But if there was like a mid-tier character that could be converted, you can take its trait and use it and just say like this as an extreme case would turn because there's a famous, like, the Punisher kills people in the name of like being good. So Daredevil has and Spider-Man and even Batman, they have the no kill rule. And then there's the Punisher who only kills bad guys or tries to only kill bad guys. And so there's a lot of, butting of heads between Punisher and Daredevil. And Punisher has said, you're just one bad day away from being me. Right? So there could be a character that, is a good character, and then eventually just something happens that takes them past the tipping point to where they cross that line, and then and that's why I love the thought of like Empathy Elephant being so empathetic, and you can be overly empathetic to where you internalize other people's struggles and it's a good thing to have. And I know great people that do this, and they take on the pain from someone else because they're so empathetic to where their mood gets impacted, and it like takes them. And if it, instead of turning you sad, turns you angry or mad or whatever, it could be a real problem. And when you're the size of an elephant and you have that power, you can cause some damage.
I mean, Loyal Lobster is already in the next comic, but even like loyalty is something I feel like if you're too loyal to a certain cause or somebody, I think you can turn whoever's that person's enemy all of a sudden becomes like your enemy, and you're taking it on a little bit too personal. So like, I think there's most very good traits if you take them too literal, and if you don't see the line, I think they can turn negative. So I feel like we could see some surprises down the line.
Sure.
Quite a few of them. Should be cool. I think we need that. We can't just have like everything is great all the time, rainbows and sunshine.
No.
Like
I can see like it wouldn't be a big surprise, but Smooth Spider could be a villain.
Any spiders.
Right, but trusting Tarantula is not, if it's trusting, you know what I mean?
I feel like if your trust is like broken, that's a big thing for me. I hate spiders. Like that's why I could never be my character. But trust and honesty are like two, like if I can't trust you, we're done.
It's hard for me for a small spider, or even if it's a tarantula, to be a big bad. Where bad intentions, to me, the reason I think that if there's I see bad intentions can be a real problem in this universe, where it can do enough to where it's going to actually cause, a big thing to happen. Where I don't see that for Cynical Cat. I don't see that for the Tick. Those are more street level, lower tier villains, where I see bad intentions as the big bad of VeeFriends as of right now.
I don't know. It's probably more than we're not thinking of right now.
Harpic. That's because you can be thoughtful in it's almost, you can be thoughtful in your preparations. Doesn't mean that you're always thinking of someone else and your thought, but we've already established the Harpic in a comic that don't believe what you hear and all this stuff. And sure, here's a horn and, good guy type stuff. But I think that could have been a cool heel turn if it wasn't so
just because it's like so far he's nice. Like I said, like you're nice until somebody like goes too far and you're like.
But you can't do that in the next issue. Like it needs to be
like it'll be down the road.
It needs a real kindness, good guy arc before you can get them to that point.
Yeah, for sure. Then we're gonna see something cool coming down the line. I don't think that it's just so far that's been really like unexpected stories too. Like didn't see the Manta Mongoose in the Cobra thing. I think there's a lot of things which I feel like it has to be. That's what keeps you going, wanting to read those stories, especially like people who have been in it for a while and like know these characters, or we think we know them, to actually wanting to dive in. Like, okay, what is it actually about versus what I think this character is about. I think those are two different things. They have to keep it kind of interesting.
All right. I'm just waiting for the extinction level event that Bad Intentions can do using the carrot. If it's poison, if it touches you, he's just going around replicating it, building an army. If it can hypnotize or something like that, Cynical Cat can't do that.
And is there only one of those carrots?
We don't know.
Can you replicate it?
I don't know. I think that you can write a story where it can be for some reason.
And then he's building his own army of.
Where did the knowing gnome get it from?
Only he knows.
Yeah.
It's all these things.
Not even Jeremy knows.
Not even Jeremy knows.
All right. What's next? Are we good?
I have some overrated, underrated.
Okay, hit me.
Gift goat.
So basically, it's going off of the NFT. I think at a certain point, it was definitely overrated. And I think a lot of people expressed how overrated they thought it was. And now there was a point where it was very underrated. You could have gotten a gift go for under 3 ETH, something crazy, if we're going NFT wise. As a concept, I think it's underrated. As a macro sense, when it was created, I feel as though that was the NFT to get. And I think there was a way to buy it even at an expensive price and it still be worth your while. Currently, I think it sits around 6 or 7 ETH. And I think that's in the current market properly rated because they're still getting gifts, but they're all non-obligated. It can end anytime. I don't think it will. But being that anything is a bonus, they don't have to go over the top. Giving a sapphire box was super generous. But did they know at the time that it was going to be worth $6,000 to $8,000 per box? Probably not. But it's great that they did because now they can say, Gary and team can say, look what we gave you. If you sold it for $1,500, that's on you. Again, my experience with the goats is very VeeFriends team can never do anything right. Gift goats are never happy. That was my experience from the outside perspective. All I've heard was negative things from the people who have it. So I think currently it is properly rated. I think it's probably around the price that it'll stay unless something gets announced that they're guaranteed to get. But last year it was a sapphire box. This year was a hobby box. One, that's not worth buying the NFT for. That's not going to start making you money back. You could have bought a goat, flipped the sapphire at the top and gotten your goat for free or even profit from one gift. I don't know if that's going to happen again. And even if it does, you might have to hold it for a while. So I think right now it's kind of properly rated.
I agree. When I first came into VeeFriends, heard about like the whole gift goat group. At that time, it was apparently a very toxic group. Just a lot of negativity and, like you said, a lot of high expectations. Which, don't get me wrong, people pay a lot of money for it. But I think it changed as the gifts ran out and new buyers came in. They came in with the expectation like there was nothing left. I'm buying in because I'm believing in this NFT and I'm believing. I think since then there have been a couple people buying in after the Sapphire came out, thinking they're gonna get Sapphire and stuff again. And I think there might be some negativity coming back if that's not happening. There were a couple people I think unhappy that they just got a hobby box. But I heard overall it's a much better group because the people who bought into it because of the IP and what this NFT means versus what it gives you. And I think that has changed a lot, at least what I've heard from the outside.
Sure. I mean, what they did for you was extremely awesome. You know, we know the people, the good people that are leading the charge to make the better. It's a group that I would, if I was to say of a NFT that I'd want, I wouldn't mind getting into it now. I think it's still maybe a smidge overpriced, but maybe not. I think it's right about where I think it should be. So yeah, properly rated currently, but at any time it was, at one point it was definitely underrated. At one point it was definitely overrated.
But I agree, properly rated right now. Owning comic number 1.
Owning it is underrated. Buying it right now might be overrated. It just blows my mind. It's so speculative. People are buying it. It's worth something. It's worth what, $5,000 if it's unopened. Do you know what kind of comic you can buy of true significance that are proven? A Spider-Man, like amazing. It's mind-blowing that something that's 1 year and change old is that valuable. Again, that's the power of Gary. That's the power of VeeFriends. I think buying one right now is overrated. I think owning one is underrated.
I agree. Blank sketch covers.
Underrated. Underrated. I'm dying for them to bring it back. I want ones of the ones that they had, and I think that it would, because some people open it and go, awesome, it's a rare one, and then might flip it. Great. I think it should be worth more. If I open that, I'm getting guard on it, but I'm going to be super mindful of who and what I get on it. But that to me is such a comic culture thing that I think it'll end in the hands of comic collectors that actually care about the art and the art form and the medium and all that. So I think they're wildly underrated.
Yep. I really wish I would bring them back because it was such a cool thing to do. I always wanted a number 2 because I had like an idea for something, which I won't say out loud because I don't want you guys to take that idea away from me. Not you, but like your listeners. So forever, but I wouldn't pay that money for it.
Exactly.
Like as much as I loved having one, like unless I can get it for a decent price or I pull one, I wouldn't pay for it.
If that cover is not super expensive to make, that should be the cover that is outside the blind bag then. Don't get me wrong, it's cool to have it, but think about it. People might buy it because they can get art. You're going to have to pay for the art anyway, but that could be a cool thing to have outside the blind bag, because I think they took it out of the blind bag because you could weigh it or something. And no, fine. It's still random. You know what I mean? So it still is what it is, but I would love to see it exist.
Yep. I'll love to see it bring back. Splash pages.
Oh, underrated. I love splash.
You guys don't know what that is? Splash page is a 2-page when the comic picture goes over both.
Yeah, I mean, you could do single splash page, but like when it's double page splash page, it's the centerpiece of a book. It's the best. The art is bigger. Like the artists like to do it more, and you can. It just it takes them a longer time, but wildly underrated.
And it makes you stop in the comic too. Like I remember the one I think in Robot where the mega head or whatever it's called, the head is on there. You just open it, just like this.
Yes.
There's so much to look at. Like it makes you stop in the comic and look at everything before you even start reading. But like it's a really cool way of like stopping you in the moment and really taking in what's going on in the comic.
Yep.
But like it's a underrated thing. Reading every issue. Underrated.
Overrated, right? I'm kidding. Oh my God. The face I just got is insane. All right, next.
Grading comics.
It's a hot topic. There are comic people that absolutely hate what it has done to the comic community. I get it, but I'm pro. Obviously, I'm pro grading. Especially, I want to grade stuff. Like I'm now collecting video games. Video games are meant to be played. Comics are meant to be read. I'm collecting them in graded format because I've played it. I love it. It means something to me. I want to encapsulate it. That's what it, to me, what it represents.
But see, like that's a different type of person who grades them and collects them then, because you were actually liking the stories, you're reading them and grading them because you want to preserve, because you love this collection.
Sure.
Versus like just buying it, never opening it, and just grading it. But like it's a little bit different for me.
I think then if you're buying it just to grade it, to flip it, it's overrated. I think if you're buying it to collect what you love and protect what you love, like how I am, I think that's underrated.
Yep. Like I haven't really graded anything because I just want to read them. But
yeah,
and then I think it's a price issue too. Do you have the money? Like grading is expensive.
Sure, of course, absolutely. But there are people that collect. I have bought, so just to use video games, but even comic, I have bought graded copies and I've bought raw copies and gotten them graded. I've done both because some I've already played or read, and I don't need to buy to read it again, because I can also read a lot of these stories, Marvel, in a collected edition, which is the way I like to read it. So I don't really read single issues. I never really have. It's never been my thing. But I'll read the long Daredevil arc and then the one pivotal issue in there, or that represents that whole storyline from that writer. I'll get that one. I'll buy that one graded because it represents the story to me. You know what I mean? So it's collect what you love. And if you love graded comics because of what it means to you, but I'm okay with, I've graded comics, VeeFriends Comics, because they were a foil cover. And I go, I don't want this. I want my collection of VeeFriends Comics in graded format are base and cover B. Cover A and cover B. I'm not chasing really rainbows of all of it. So I'll grade foils to flip. But I know the story and I know all that stuff, but there are foil collectors out there. I have a CGC 10 Cracked Ice issue 4, the Harpic. It's awesome. And in a 10, which is so hard to get, that's not something that I feel like I want a PC. Only because I have the base copies and I even have the limited out of 309 version for the San Diego Comic-Con one. I'm going to PC that one over the 10 Cracked Ice.
Are people rainbow collecting?
I think it's tough to rainbow collect when there's one of ones. I've been asked a lot if I'm chasing a rainbow of Catfish and Chrome. No, I'm not, which might be shot. I've bought I've bought into many spots, but I've only bought one single Catfish, and it was a gold one. And it's gold because I own the gold Catfish. So and it was 05 of 50. So I thought it was a cool one to own. I'm not going to go buy every gold copy I can see. I bought every series 1 card of the Catfish I want. I want specific one of ones, specifically gold. For Chrome, until I can get the Superfractor, I'm not chasing a rainbow, because what good is having 250 pink all the way to 5 red, but then the Superfractor goes to someone else that doesn't want to sell it. Now I don't have a correct full rainbow. This was all for nothing. Now the rest of the rainbow means nothing to me. Nothing means nothing. But you know what I mean? Like
it's not a rainbow.
It's not the rainbow. Where I am one rare Catfish away. And I said it on stream, and Jay's like, that was stupid, because now people are going to rake you over the coals if they have it. But I also there's 8 of them. I can wait. I can be patient. I have every version of the Catfish. I have core, very rare, epic, one of one, and the auto. The only true rainbow is me then, because I have the auto, and there's only one auto. So no one else can have the true rainbow. You can have the rainbow to the spec, but you can't have the auto rainbow. I'm the other one. I've never seen a rare Catfish be pulled.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
national.
Because I have the Catfish spot in R5, and if my JY pulls one, I know he'll sell it to me. I don't know that he'll sell it to me, but I have a feeling he would sell it to me, because it doesn't mean anything to him. He'd probably say to trade him for it for something, which is fine.
But he would give you first dibs, I feel like.
I think, yeah.
Overrated, underrated?
I like it. That's one of my favorite segments, because it leads to good conversation. So people have doubted us about what the hell are we going to do all summer with no comics coming out? First off, fuck you. We're entertaining enough, I think. I'm still having fun doing it, even without, potentially even more. Okay. So get fucked on that, but we will continue.
There's always, I feel like, something to talk about. Like if it's different, like you guys pulled the first comic insert last night.
Yes, we did. Our first one. Yeah. And it was issue 1. I know. And it went to Jeremy. And it was a great one. We talked about the comic pack, and then we pulled it. How awesome is that?
It's such a good one. Like, it has such big meaning, like, having him and his dad in it, and it's like...
Can we rip it now, Dad? It's not the right time. On Father's Day.
I know! All
Ugh,
days.
it was kismet. I loved it.
I wasn't there.
It's okay.
I mean, we watched it, so that's the perks I have. Can we watch all of it?
Yeah.
That's good. All
right. Well, from us here at Is It Canon, that's Ann and I'm Tom. And thank you for listening. Subscribe to our YouTube if you haven't. Please drop a comment. Keep your hot takes coming because it doesn't have to be, we can do that ongoing, but make them hot takes. I want to hear like, issue 1 is better than this, or issue 2 is not good because of that reason. Tom's right. Issue 5 is way overrated.
Mm-hmm. Yes, like, Tom, you're going to agree with Tom. We all know it's fine.
No, that's not true. No one fucking agrees with me. Are you kidding me?
Tom does.
Oh, great.
Tom's the only one agreeing.
Great. 2 things are guaranteed. K-Save's going to go against me and Dom is going to be with me. You know what? That's okay.
It's a new team.
And it doesn't have to be comic only. Like, tell me, listen, the Harpic's a shitty character and here's why. And then that's a hot take.
Or
so
like,
tell us that.
This character would have been better for that issue.
Ooh.
Okay.
Same. I wonder if we can, just looking at my art back here, how Mr. Fantastic can stretch his body, right? That's his power. Can any VeeFriends like have a power? Would that take away from the trait or whatever?
No, I feel like the trait can be part of the power. Again, I can't think of anything right now because there's too many of them.
So many. There's so many. Like if the Cobra can grow to the size of the it is on the cover, then it's a real problem. Obviously they didn't go that route and that's fine. I just mean, can that be a thing?
I think it can because nothing is really locked down. And I feel like even though Gary had initial ideas for some of these characters, I feel like I could see him changing things too. Just adjusting to like where that trait is needed now, or like thinking now more in comic terms. I think they're still evolving. I don't think this is exactly all the story. Like they're sitting together. They just had their third comic offside. They're sitting together and coming up with ideas. So yes, while Gary had some ideas about these characters or why they are part of the universe, some of these stories are still developing. So I feel like it could go in a lot of different directions. Like there's still openness. Agreed.
So subscribe. We are so close to 200 subscribers, which is very cool because we made a big deal at 100. And I'm very, very proud that we're close to 200. Let's try to get over that mark. Shout out to all of you that continue to listen every week. We get a few more and we really appreciate that. So tell your friends, tell family members, and read more comics. I mean, read more comics, but at this point, reread more comics.
Yep.
Reread more fucking comics.
And I will finish the comic you sent me. Hopefully this week. We can talk about it next week. And then I can move on to the first person.
And you have about a half hour of reading there. Like, get it done. I'm kidding. I'm busy.
Let's throw the book at you next time I see you.
You're going to hit me in the head with it first. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Awesome.
Cool.
And recording.